This is the swan kite. This is the pig. This is to turn off XP, I think, or something. I forget what. No, to turn off your bonus riding speed. It's an emote. That's an emote. It's item, fireworks. It's another cloak. These are things for my mount. This is another mount. Okay. I think we're good to go. Probably just need to do this. That'll at least sort it down there, and I can worry about a bank when we get to Bree. I can't believe I unboxed that armor set, though. That sucks. Just because it's just so much stuff that you have in your inventory. I forget what that set looks like, though. Oh, it's the Gondor set. Yeah, that's right. We have the hooded cloak with Great Alliance. There are so many cosmetics in this game, you can get totally lost in it, but we're just going to use this little starter stuff right here. Okay, I think we only have one quest right now, which is to talk to Kellandine Brandywine.
Thank goodness you're awake. That fellow Amdir seems very ill.
He is ill. He's been stabbed by a Morgul blade. Thank goodness. You are exhausted after what happened last night, but that ranger got us all safe to Archer in the end. I'm terribly worried for his friend. You could check on him if you'd like. He's just over there to the west of where I'm standing. Okay.
Do not trouble yourself on my account. It is only a chill.
It's only a flesh wound. Thank you for your concern, but it is Strider for whom I fear. He is charged with a great task, but tarries for my sake and for Archer's. Amdir assures you he is well, but he is deathly pale and trembles with chill.
There are too many deeds to be done, all pressing, and none of them easy.
Hail, Renfail. Alright, I am torn. I do not wish to leave him this state, and Archer must be warned. But the Blackwolves mean to raid the town. I should be seeking a different baggins right now. So I am playing a hunter, so we're going to go for the medium armor.
Perhaps you can help, my friend.
And
Captain
one of these days I'll stop
heed my
hitting the
warnings.
B button. Quick tip for new players. If this is your first time ever playing Lord of the Rings Online, save everything. Every single quest reward, make sure you pay attention to it and don't sell anything, because everything is a cosmetic item or can become a cosmetic item in this game. There are thousands, probably tens of thousands of items. So anytime you get a new piece of armor and you get something like this cloth waistcoat, don't throw it away, because you might like the look of it. Never throw something away until you're absolutely sure that you don't like the look of it, and then get rid of it. Because if it's a quest reward, you won't be able to ever find that again. But everything can be used for cosmetics in this game, so pay very strict attention to that. Don't throw anything away. Perhaps you will help, Renfail. The people of Archet will be in great danger when the Blackwolves execute the plan we witnessed last night. The captain here, a man named Brackenbrook, does not like my look, and will not heed my warnings. Pray, speak to him on my behalf, and see if you can rouse him. Every moment I spend here is a moment in which my true charge plunges blindly nearer to unfathomable peril. The black rider you saw last night seeks a baggins, and our friend Mundo is not the only one. Another thing for new players, if you've never played this before, everything you do in this game, there's multiple types of quests. One is the generic world quests, which have many different storylines and stuff, but those are like a zone quest. If you're familiar with those from other games, there'll be like, you'll go to a zone, that zone will have quest hubs and quest chains. There's also what's known as the epic book quest, which unfolds in chapters. It unfolds in books and chapters. The launch version of this legendary server is in what is known as the Shadows of Angmar, which is a level 1 to 50 storyline that has the main storyline has you doing single player content, small group content with 3 players, full group content with 6 players, and there's even raids associated with things in the long run. The main story takes place across this. It is a very Tolkien-esque storyline. Much of it takes place with you traveling alongside the Fellowship as their journey unfolds. So right now, this is where, for those of you who have read the books or seen the films, the hobbits are basically in the process of leaving the Shire, and that's all taking place right now. And Strider's here looking for them, but he's being sidetracked because of what's going on right here. Every race in this game that you play, without spoiling any of the storylines, they all have an intro series of quests like this, which it's been a while. I think it's like level 1 to 7, 1 to 5, 1 to 7, somewhere in there, which takes place in an area like this, and then you get put out in the real world, and then you have a zone that you'll go through, and that zone will take you up to around 15 or so, and then you'll get told to go to Bree, and at Bree is where you will meet Strider, and you will start to follow in the footsteps of the Fellowship as the hobbits are traveling through the Shire, to the Brandywine, through the Old Forest, to the Barrow Downs, to the Lone Lands, through into the Trollshaws, to Rivendell, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff that takes place in the Misty Mountains and in Rivendell, and then you'll start to move around and do stuff that's sort of independent of the Fellowship. And then if you decide to stick around with this game, Moria is the first expansion, and you move with the Fellowship into Moria, and you're following in their footsteps. One of my favorite quests in the game is when you have to go down in the very deep depths of Moria after Gandalf has fallen with the Balrog, and you're looking for evidence of that. That's one of my favorite quests. But my all-time favorite quest in this game isn't going to happen for a long time on the Legendary server. It's when you're going down the river and you do a flashback sequence where you're actually there with Boromir and Merry and Pippin when the orcs, and it's so tragic and it brings tears to my eyes, but it's so cool. And then Rohan is probably my favorite expansion to date, because that's when they started really doing tons of voiceovers, and the moment when King Theoden sees the Ents for the first time is just like it is in the book, and you get the goosebumps, and there's so much cool stuff here. If you've never played before. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked.
I don't like the look of those rangers one bit.
Oh, let them stay on account of the Pale One's wounds. You say the Black Wolves mean to attack us, but I don't believe it. Not without proof. Those brigands have always been about. They're unruly, but not murderous. No, I'll not be attacking them without good reason. If you must, you go to talk to folks around town and get their opinions. If they're on your side, I'll consider the Rangers' warning.
Captain Brackenbrook does not believe the Black Wolves are a threat.
What do you need?
If Captain Brackenbrook says we're safe, then we're safe. So she blindly trusts him.
How can I be of service?
Yep. They couldn't hurt a squirrel's nest, let alone our town.
He believes Archit is safe from danger.
What do you need?
I see that your friend is wounded. So she trusts him as well. By the way, this is one area I wish that EverQuest 2 would have cleaned up over the years, is when you right-click on an NPC who is a quest giver and a NPC. It's not going to do it now because she has. I've already cleared the quest dialog, but it pops up a window that shows you the quest thing that you can interact with, or the merchant thing that you can interact with. In EverQuest 2, it always goes straight to the merchant screen, even if it's somebody who has a quest for you, and you have to then close the merchant screen, unless you just straight up use the H button to hail. So it's always been sort of annoying to me. Constantine says, selling lotro to play with some friends on the new Legendary servers after watching your videos. Pretty hyped. Is there a community Discord to ask newbie questions? I don't actually know if I don't actually know if Standing Stone Games has a Discord server for Lord of the Rings Online. That's a good question. If somebody in either the YouTube or Twitch chat wants to answer that, or knows more than I do on that front, feel free to let us know, and I will. If it's over on Twitch, I'll relay it to Constantine. By the way, he's on YouTube, and he can see the YouTube chat. But I actually don't know the answer to that question. I just follow him on Twitter and have for years.
Alas for peaceful folk everywhere. It is an enormous task to convince them that evil people with evil intentions will commit evil deeds.
I love this line of dialogue. Evil people with evil intentions will commit evil deeds. This is one of the core elements of Tolkien that I have loved watching people debate in the Rings of Power community, because they tried to make the orcs seem less evil and more like we should have sympathy on the orcs and they're a community and all this other stuff. And it's like, yeah, but in Tolkien's world, it's very black and white. The orcs are evil. End of discussion. They have evil intentions because they're evil people and they're going to commit evil deeds. They don't have a choice in the matter. They are corrupted from Morgoth and through Morgoth into Sauron, into Saruman and beyond. Like, orcs are irredeemable. Like, you cannot have a good orc in the world of Middle-earth, in Tolkien's world. It's not possible because they all come from Morgoth. That's been a very interesting thing to see people conversing about. Young Gun says, love Lord of the Rings. I always wanted to try Lotro for a new player worth getting into 24. By the way, just came across your videos on YouTube. Great work. Long time WoW player and just getting bored of it. I mean, different people love different things. For me, I've played this game since it launched, so it's still my favorite MMORPG of all time. I don't actively play this game because I am also bored with it. World of Warcraft, I'm new to. I just started playing in November. So I'm very much, our community is focused on Warcraft and the War Within, which is launching in 2 weeks. That's our main jam as a community. I much prefer modern quality of life features. Like, I could play World of Warcraft fully on a controller. I lament the fact that I can't hear. I realize that some people say you could go through Steam and get partial controller support, but it's not the same thing as having native controller support like WoW does. I like cinematic cutscenes. I want fully voiced. I want fast travel everywhere. I want modern things. I want matchmaking and looking for raid and looking for dungeon. I want all of that. This game doesn't have that. What this game does have is a deep, rich story with amazing lore. It is Middle-earth personified. It is a really great game, but it's not meant to be played the same as like World of Warcraft. But I get it. You've played World of Warcraft forever. You're bored of World of Warcraft. You're coming here to try this. Get ready for a wild ride. Just understand that there's not the same amount of quality of life features, Young Guns. It's a great game, but it will play much different, a lot slower. Probably more like World of Warcraft Classic if you've played Classic recently. This will be more akin to that. Alright, it seems I cannot leave yet. Amdir needs my help, and I have pressing work to do in Archer to get these people ready for the impending storm. If you help me, perhaps I can leave before tonight. Alright, we're going to take the ragged leather gloves because we are...
Before you try to fight, you must learn what skills you may from the trainer.
Alright, you've earned your first trait. We've got to choose a specialization now. And we need to talk to the hunter trainer. Multiple things just happened. So, to cover this, there are trait trees in Lord of the Rings Online. Every class has these. There's a blue line, a red line, and a yellow line. Generically speaking, red line is the DPS line, yellow line is the utility line, and blue line is something unique to your class. In this case, the blue line allows me to cast or to shoot my arrows on the fly. So I always go blue line because I like to play mobile. If you're going to play in a group where you're going to have a main tank who's tanking for you and keeping the focus of the mob, generally speaking, you'll want to go with red because that's going to allow you to do a ton of single target damage. And then if you're going to focus on traps and things of that nature, this is the AoE and trap control line. So this is just how do you want to spec your character. In this case, we're going blue line, so I'm going to choose this as spec 1. And we are going to go immediately with probably the general range damage increase. That's a good question. What do I go to after that? Improved intent concentration. Probably. I don't think it matters, but Yeah, let's do this one. Strong draw. We got a couple of abilities. Yeah, we'll put that there, that there. From the barbed arrow, this is the interrupt. Alright. Meow, you heard a kitty cat in the background. Kitty cats are good, man. We have lots of cats. Nobody's in here right now. They'll probably come in a little bit because I think Chris is going out to help with some family stuff, which means I'll be on solo homestead duty. Alright, we gotta go talk to the trainer.
Would you do something for me?
I'm here to help you become a more powerful hunter. As you gain levels, more skills will become available to you. Use the skill Penetrating Shot against a training dummy. Hunters have focus. If you've played other games where you have like an energy bar or something of that nature, it's similar. Certain abilities don't require anything and they build up your focus, and other abilities require focus. They're grayed out on the hotbar over here. Use Penetrating Shot. Now, Penetrating Shot is a grayed out ability because I don't have the focus yet, so I have to burn my initial abilities to earn focus. Eventually it will become red once, and then this radius thing right here, how it fills up in red around the top, that's your focus meter. Penetrating Shot. There we go. Once upon a time, you used to have to come to the trainer to learn your abilities. Once upon a time. I'm gonna take a dagger. And then we're gonna go into our inventory. And I'm gonna stop hitting B for inventory because I play World of Warcraft all the time. One of these days I'll stop. We're gonna switch out for this new bow. And we're also going to equip this new dagger here. Put this dagger over here. Alright, back into town.
Do you feel confident in what you have learned?
You are about to take on a most perilous task. If we fail, I fear that ruin will come to more towns than Archer alone. Black Rider has brought the influence of Angmar to our very doorstep, Renfail. Much is at stake this day. Are you ready to begin your great venture?
Amdir, my poor old friend. A shadow has crept over him.
I don't know why I have the Red Dead Redemption music in my head.
A shadow has crept over him. The Black Rider that stabbed him is more fell than any creature you will meet in your travels. We have little time, and we must stretch what time we have by doing two things at once. Amdir needs medicine, quickly. Do you know of a plant called Kingsfoil? It is a great flower to heal. You should ask Captain Brackenbrook if he knows of any that grow in these parts. Offer him assistance as well if it does not take you too far out of the way. We must begin to work on him. Perhaps he will look more kindly upon you after you do him a good deed.
I don't like the look of those rangers one bit.
Kingsfoil, eh? Well, that's a leafy plant. Grows around Bronwyn's Folly. It's a ruin south of here. You can help yourself as much as you like. We've no use for it. As for your offer of assistance, I will take you up on it. We're always in need of able hands. You might be able to earn your keep while you stay with us. My best man, Calder Cobb, is having trouble with wolves of late. Perhaps you could help him on your way to do your gardening job for the ranger. Alright. And out the door we went. Oh, they still use the old maps for Archit.
Oh, that looks so weird. These are the new maps right here, guys. The old map style is... I feel like this is the old map style, isn't it? Trader's Wharf. Ooh, I haven't gone there yet. Thursday's work site. Yeah. It is a good game for a fuffle. The Wildwood. This is all, I'm assuming, this is stuff I haven't seen yet. The Wildwood of Greenland. Ooh. See, I haven't played since before the Umbar expansion was the last time I played, so I haven't seen any of the new content that they've added. Obviously, it's probably all unlocked because that's part of the new expansion, but it's on the map anyway. Calder Cobb.
Well, well, if it isn't the rumour monger.
I've heard all about you, Renfail. As you can see for yourself, there aren't no brigands causing problems. It's the wolves. They've gathered around Bronwy's Folly, especially around the top of the ruins. Brockman sent you to assist me. Assist me you shall.
Alright, we're gonna go check out the wolf problem he's having. We need to complete a quest for him. And gather King's Flow. I may have to go get some more coffee. Pays to be a hunter. Oh, I need to turn the auto loot on. That's in the options UI? I would like my character's name on. Oh, I need to turn roleplay on as well. Chat bubbles, yes, turn those on. Where's it at? Somewhere in here is a auto loot button. Always loot all. Thank you very much. That's what I was looking for. I might adjust the UI up a little bit as well. It feels a little small. Let's that might be too much. All right, let's just leave it alone for now. The UI scaling is something I'll go back and work on later on. I don't want us to get sidetracked too much while we're live streaming. Is this game only on PC? Yep. It's an older game. I think it's 16 or 17 years old now. So it's only on PC. Someone said earlier you could play it through Steam. I didn't realize that. And through Steam you could add controller support to it if you wanted to. It's definitely, it plays like an older, if you've played like World of Warcraft Classic or EverQuest 2, TLEs, it's going to feel a lot like an older MMO. It doesn't have a lot of quality of life features. It's still a good game though for Middle-earth and just good roleplay and good fun. It's got a great soundtrack. And it's got the best writing. To this day, I think it has the best writing of any MMORPG I've ever played. He's going up here to face the big baddie. We'll do the same. We're looking for the source of the evil. There's a strange banner at the top of the stairs here. Well, let's click it and let's see what happens. The Blackwall banner. The Wolfmaster approaches. Defeat him.
Caller Cobb told me he'd be paying me a visit. He's sorry for sticking your nose where you don't belong.
Oh, he threw some caltrops on the ground. We're going to back out of that. Oh, I've killed him. That was quick and easy. All right, we have 2 quest turn-ins. Excuse me. Let's head on back. If you are tuning in for the first time today, everybody, I'm multi-streaming on YouTube and Twitch, so you can choose where you watch. Daily streams traditionally happen around 11 a.m. Central Time. We started a little bit early today. I've played a boatload of Lord of the Rings over the years. There's a playlist with hundreds of videos on my channel. There's also a playlist set up for this Angmar Legendary server. We're going to be dabbling a bit. The main stream game right now is No Man's Sky. We're taking a break from that today just to dive into this a little bit. We'll be back to No Man's Sky tomorrow. And we are currently working our way towards the War Within, or World of Warcraft, which launches on 22nd. And then Star Wars Outlaws, which we're going to be playing as the main stream game on August 27th. But I am going to dabble a little bit. Y'all convinced me. I wasn't going to, and then that video I made the other day did like 35,000 views in like almost overnight. So I was like, oh, all right, I'll go play.
Like you
Then I did the class
the
guide,
Wolf
and then I
Master?
did, yeah. We got like 50,000 views in the last like 48 hours from Lord of the Rings Online videos. So I was like, all right, apparently you guys want me to go back and play. I did get a lot of people like, why aren't you going to play until 2025? When are you going to update your guides? Your last guide was 2023. I was like, because I didn't plan on playing it this year. I'm also not playing Star Wars: Old Republic this year. I've been playing World of Warcraft this year. But you got me, guys. I subbed up. There's a video I published last night talking about my plans for Lord of the Rings Online. So if you want to know more, you can go check that video out. It's called I Lied About Lotro. My bad. Thought I wasn't gonna. Ended up gonna.
How is it that you stand before me? A weakling like you had defeated the Wolfmaster? I would kill myself for that fool Dirk Mudbrook weren't here watching. No matter, I don't fear exposure. Brackenbrook will never believe you. He thinks I've served him loyally since I was but a lad, but the old fool. I think I forgot this guy's voice.
Impossible!
I did.
A weakling like you defeated the Wolf Master?
Tell Brackenbrook whatever you like, but Archit will fall, and I'll make out with more gold than you can fathom. And you will die with the rest if you don't make yourself scarce before tonight.
Woo! I may need a drink for his voice. Return to Strider with Kingsfoil and your strange tale. King Maverick says, do we have to be the same race with my friend in order to start at the same area? For the initial level like 1 to 5, 1 to 7 area, yes. It's not exactly the same race. So I got to remember this properly. It's been a while. If I'm not mistaken, hobbits and men start here in Archit. Elves and dwarves start in Arid Luin. But then high elves have their own starting area. The what is the new dwarves they added? I can't remember the name of them right now. The stout something dwarves. It's the other race of dwarves. They have their own starting area. And yeah, we did start early, Redneck. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Redneck. I totally started like an hour early. I got home from my run. I had breakfast. Chris and I were sitting there. And I was like, I could just go live an hour early. And she's like, well, I got to do chores, so if you want to go do it, go for it. And I was like, I'm going to go start an hour early. So anyway, high elves start in their own starting area. Bjornings have their own starting area. The independent dwarf race has their own starting area. I think the river hobbits have their own starting area, if I'm not mistaken. But then normal hobbits and humans come to Archit. Normal elves and normal dwarves go to Arid Luin. So mostly they have their own starting areas, but a couple of them blend together. So men and halflings, etc. Yeah, it's going to be very casual tonight. I think, I talked about it last night. I think I said I can probably do, if it's daytime streams, it'll probably only be, there probably won't be very many daytime streams of Lord of the Rings Online after this one. We're capturing interest today. Beyond this, it'll probably be afternoon, evening streams, weather dependent. Like 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central is usually when I do stuff outside of the main streams. Right now we're No Man's Sky for another couple of weeks, and then World of Warcraft for about a week, and then Star Wars Outlaws, and then after that we're doing Space Marine 2. And then after Space Marine 2, I don't know quite what the mainstream's going to be after that because that's late September. I'm waiting for a few other things to get announced at Gamescom because they're supposed to be getting announcements for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Dragon Age the Veilguard, Shattered Space DLC for Starfield, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So, but in between there, we'll dabble in some Lotro Legendary. And I jokingly raise a middle finger to everybody about this because I swore I wasn't going to do it, and here I am. So screw you all for tuning in and watching the videos because it's your fault. It's all your fault. I had no plans to do this.
Calder Cobb is a traitor. Danger has found you earlier than I predicted.
How did he know of you if he was at his post? And how did that Blackwald know you were coming? Thank you for the risk you took to deliver the King's foil. I will think upon this riddle while I prepare a salve for Amdir.
I'll take the... Oh, I guess it's going to give me both.
I cannot decide which is more dangerous right now. Calder Cobb's treachery or the ignorance of Captain Brackenbrook.
You're welcome, Mavros. Yeah, I'm super excited too, Redneck. I think after Star Wars Outlaws, Indiana Jones might be my second most anticipated game of 2024. I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan, and I love all the films. I love the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. I've loved all the video games. We just played Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis last year in the spring as a Let's Play series here on YouTube. I think that was last spring or winter, something like that. But I do love me some Indiana Jones.